Alrighty, so it's been over a week. That first day excitement and hype has finally died down. I wanted to let the dust settle before making this video just so the newness of a lot of these tracks didn't play a part in their rank, because even since my album review, some songs have grown and faded a bit on me. So with that out of the way, this is my ranking of every song from Dangerous to Double album. I saw this guy rank every Kanye song, which sparked this idea in the first place, and then I saw Backroad Riff, who you should follow on Instagram, gave his top 30, and I was like, you know what, this video needs to happen. Quickly, as always, this is just my opinion. Critically speaking, a lot of these tracks are of similar quality, so especially when talking about this album, your list could be astronomically different than mine. My opinion is no more correct than yours, and vice versa. Let me know if you guys enjoy this style of video, if you want to see more of these rankings in the future. For the sake of time, I'm limiting myself to just a few sentences on each track, although you can get a more in-depth look at essentially every song in my album review, where I review Dangerous track by track. Lastly, as always, like the video if you enjoy it, and if you're new to the channel, I would encourage you to subscribe for more country music content. I was never huge on the Diplo version, and though I was happy to see they released a more organic version for the album, when you stack it up against any other track here, it just falls short. Not gonna lie, this song has shrunk on me substantially since the release. Not that I was a fan to begin with, but it just has nothing unique about it other than the wonky, twangy hook. Let's be real, all Somethin Country has is a fun energy. Other than that, it's just a prime example of shallow bro country vibes I want Morgan to steer clear of. There's more clever ways of having a good time, as you'll see later. If you watched my review, you'll know originally I said Beer Don't was my least favorite track. I'm unsure if Beer Don't grew on me or if the others faded, but it simply comes down to, if you made me choose out of these bottom four, I would take Beer Don't because at bare minimum, it's got some good energy. This song was a dud for me upon release and hasn't grown on me. Even in the context of the album, this song is just counterproductive. It's too defensive and almost sad sounding, which completely goes against what the whole second album is supposed to be. I think Your Bartender has a great sound, but it's not a new or unique sound from Morgan, and the songwriting is just really subpar in my opinion. I think there's a lot of wasted potential here because I think you could do a lot with a title like Your Bartender, but this just seems like an easy way out for an album cut. So, I don't wanna go downtown. I know I've said I enjoy pop country Morgan, but this isn't what I meant. This is a little too peppy and upbeat, especially since the song is about trying to avoid doing all these things that hurt Morgan, and like I said in my review, it's too fast, catchy, but not overall that great. I think Outlaw had a good deal of potential. It sounds fantastic and I love the western cowboy style that they went for, but then for the song to end up just being some cheesy love story just makes it softer than a pillow being advertised on TV. This is probably one of the hotter takes in the video. I'm not denying this bar is a good song, but some people are acting as if it's some career-defining gem. I think it has a great sentiment, but the way it was executed made it feel like just a standard Morgan Wallen song. Rednecks, red letters, red dirt. Rednecks, red letters, red dirt is your typical Morgan Wallen pandering track saying, I need to get back to the only three things that work: rednecks, red letters, and red dirt. It's grown on me a fair amount since the release. It just generally sounds good and rubs me the right way. I know, Chris Stapleton and Morgan's harmonies are breathtaking. That's mainly the reason it made it past the others, because the song itself is one of the simplest. It's just like, pour me another drink because my girl left me. So I acknowledge the harmonies and I do love them, but outside of this, I don't get all the hype surrounding it. And as I said in my review, they missed such a golden opportunity to bring this track to the next level had they just given Chris the spotlight in one chorus. I really enjoy Livin the Dream. Songwriting wise, it is undoubtedly Morgan's most honest song, and I have a lot of respect for him putting it out there, or being allowed to put it out there depending on the scenario. And though divisive, I enjoy the funky R&B vibes. With me on whiskey and you on wine. Man, this song rocks. Easily one of my favorite hooks on the entire project. Consistent viewers will know I'm a big sucker for smoother, late night slow dance R&B style tracks, and that's exactly what this is, just with more contemporary country production. If you get a little dirt on I think I have this a lot higher than most, and yes, this is your 2017-2018 clap track instrumental, but I think the clap track fits in nicely with the humorous songwriting. This comedic yet shady side of Morgan is really funny to follow along with, and if anything, the clap track in the verse works because it adds this more playful feeling to an already unserious song. Earlier, when I was foreshadowing better party anthems, this is what I meant. It's not the deepest song, but the reckless nature and the much more traditional twangy country production makes for a much more appealing track. Another incredibly divisive one, simply because this is not country in the slightest. But it's still a good song. It sounds like a Joji track with the aggression of something from Beauty Behind the Madness, and one of the big factors that moved this track along the list is the bridge. I mentioned it in the podcast I did, but this is the catchiest bridge on the album. I've been loving Neon Eyes. This is an example of a track that could have easily been higher on my list. There's just something about how Morgan is warning this girl that she doesn't know what she's getting herself into. He would hate to see her with neon eyes, almost like the bar possesses you. Great tune. Makes it look like I can play. One thing I love about this track is the verses. I love the climbing banjo and matching melody lines, as well as just the fun lyrics. Nobody believes Morgan actually pulled this girl, but the truth is nobody's more surprised than him. Back a sweet song like that up with some really nice stringy production and you've got a good track. Back in April, this was our first taste of this new style that has become Morgan's trademark sound, this breezy ambient vibe with layered watery guitars. Not only does it make me nostalgic of the worldwide lockdown, but it's just a very contagious track whose positive energy just rubs off on you whenever you listen to it. Somebody's problem, somebody's goodbye. Needless to say, I freaking love this song. You can go check out the podcast I did with some Discord members to hear about my journey listening to this song before it officially came out. There's something about the melody that just calms my soul. It's one of those choruses that just scratches my itch, and hey, it's got some decent songwriting to go with it. I don't always wake up in the morning. Finally, kicking off our top 10, I have the other trap song, Wasted on You. Wasted on You carries a very heavy tone that I think Morgan sounds very strong on. I think the bluesy guitars help elevate this song from a mediocre trap country cross into a track with actual quality. If anybody out there somewhere. This is hands down the track I was looking forward to the most ahead of the release. For a more in-depth look at this track, I recommend you watch my album review, but to sum it up for time's sake, this had the potential to be my favorite track on the whole album, but the production kind of sabotaged the strengths of the song, but still one of my favorites. I didn't expect someone like Morgan to release a track like Need a Boat. I'm hoping this one takes off so we can get more of these 90s summer bops in the future, but that all depends on how it's received by the wider population. The drunken, swingy feeling is super easygoing, and again, Morgan just sounds great on these more traditional style tracks. I love this song. It's a progressive tearjerker of a story about passing on this truck to the next generation. Something about the lush final chorus just plays as a perfect climax to a near-perfect song. This song has only grown on me with time. The phone number is one of the catchiest hooks on the whole project, but even when the song starts off, I love Morgan's flow and melodies as well as this song just being very well written. This is obviously a Jason Isbell song, but I've just never heard anyone cover it as good as Morgan. It's mostly his voice, the grit and rasp in his voice just really brings out the best of those higher notes. My bronze medal goes to the album closer. Fully acoustic Morgan is arguably the best Morgan. Even in the context of the album, it's just a perfect closer. Morgan gets a chance on the piano as well as one of his best vocal performances on the whole album, and similar to Silverado for Sale, it's one of the more well-told stories we've ever gotten from Morgan. If you're a consistent viewer or you've done the process of elimination, you know what's coming. My favorite song is still 7 Summers. I won't lie, both Quittin' Time and Sand in My Boots are extremely close to 7 Summers, but at the end of the day, it has to be my favorite. Lots of my favorite songs are super nostalgic, and this is no exception. There's just something about nostalgia in music that really just gets me on board. So, that's how I would rank Morgan Wallen's Dangerous. Be sure to comment your thoughts and rankings. For a more in-depth look at each of these tracks, be sure to check out my review of the album. And for a more open discussion about the album, I would encourage you to check out the podcast I released with some members of the Discord. And while we're on the topic of Discord, the link is in the description to join our Discord server, where we have just been having a blast lately. There's also a link to my Instagram so you can follow along with me and the channel. And yeah, until next time, have a great day.